Welcome back to the ER Therapist channel, where we talk mental health life strategy for your well-being. I'm Eddie Reyes, licensed psychotherapist. Today we're going to talk about a couple of things that I want to share with you who are considering therapy. I believe this is the best attitude to help your journey with mental health. The thumbnail is titled Desperate for Different, and here's why. But I'm going to explain to you, a lot of my clients who come into my practice have either tried to solve their problems on their own but have failed. And a lot of times they can't identify the issue nor the source where the pain is coming from. But given that fact, we can deduce there's an issue on how the person approaches the problem in life in general, how they understand it and categorize it in their mind. They can't move past it, right? So given that fact that the individual comes to me, or if you're going to consider going to another therapist, right? You haven't found the answers. And it's frustrating for you and it's challenging and you're kind of at a dead end, right? So the answers basically that you have been providing yourself, it just isn't working. So that's why you got to come into the therapy session desperate for a different path, a different answer, and a different way of looking at a situation, because clearly how you or the individual has approached it just hasn't worked. However, if you come into therapy not desperate for something different, then when the therapy becomes challenging, and it will, or very uncomfortable because it will, what's going to happen is you're going to drop out. You're not going to stick around because you weren't to a place where you were desperate for different, for a new idea, a new path, a new resolution, right? So here's something else that I really want to preface here, and it's very important. I've seen a lot of clients just kind of own it, like my anxiety, my depression, my PTSD, my trauma. And while that's grammatically correct, I do not think it's helpful philosophically. We don't hear people say, my cancer is in remission. And I think it's very important to make that distinction to ensure we separate the mental health challenge as something apart from you and make yourself more accountable, and not tempt yourself to wave the white flag to anxiety or depression or PTSD as it's a party or something like that. I really think it's important to make that distinction. The anxiety, the depression, separate it from your identity. And finally, one of the other things that you have to come with an approach to therapy is have a vision of how you want your life to be. Often people do not think about how life can be without their mental health challenges. And I think it's something that's very important to think about, because if you don't have a vision, the people, the organization, and the person's going to perish. You got to have some direction. You got to understand what you're aiming for. That's all I got for you today. I wanted to really share with you that you got to be desperate for different if you want results in mental health. If you enjoyed the content, like and subscribe to the channel. Share your thoughts on your mental health journey. Leave me a comment, okay? And remember one thing, guys, your ego isn't your amigo.